Hey, today's video we are making this pumpkin which has got a press bubble inside. You can get these from Amazon, so you squeeze them. They're like stress balls, they pop out. So we have got a cut out for the nose, and when you push it the nose pops out. Kids absolutely love them, and they are so quick and easy to make, and they make a nice decoration. So we are going ahead with cotton blend for my main section, so I wanted it slightly thicker, and then obviously I used my saffron drops, which I absolutely love, which I'm going to be making for the hat as decoration. We have got our press bubble, which I get from Amazon, 2.5mm hook, my scissors. Obviously we need a stitch marker because we're working in the round, a needle and some stuffing. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, for the first round is our magic circle. Wrap it around your fingers. Under the first one, pull back the second one and pull it through. And we're going to do 6 single crochets into this magic circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and we're just going to pop our stitch marker in. Okay, I'm going to give the end a tug. I've got a bit of blue fluff on there, we don't want that. Like so, and we're going to go straight into round 2, where we're going to be doing 2 single crochets into every stitch. You're doing an increase. You're going to make it from 6 single crochets up to 12. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we're going to take our stitch marker out for the last 2. So we have got 11 and 12 in here. Okay, for now round 3, we're going to start off with a back loop only stitch. So this is your front loop and this is your back loop. We're going to go in this back one and we're going to do 1 single crochet, and then we're going to do an increase in the next one, and you're going to repeat that 6 times. So your next stitch will be a back loop only, 1 single crochet in there, and then an increase in the next one. And what you're doing is you are making the front loops available for you to run your yarn down and pull it tight to make the indents in it. So if you carry on, I'll meet you at the end of this row. Row 4, we always start off with a back loop, unless you're decreasing at the literally as you're finishing off, but always start with a back loop. So there's our back loop. Now we're increasing each time, so we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next one and then an increase in the next one. Do that sequence again. We're going to do back loop for the first one, then 1 single crochet, and then your increase, and you're following that pattern all the way around. Back loop only, 1 single crochet, and then your increase. So if you carry on, I'm going to catch you at the end of this one. Row 5, again start with our back loop only, and then we're doing 2 single crochets before our increase. So we've got 1, 2, and our increase in the next one, 2 in that one. Back loop only, 2 single crochets, 1, 2, and your increase. So if you carry on, I'll meet you at the end of the row. 6, we're going up another one, so we're going to be doing back loop only, and now 3 single crochets. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and then your increase. You're going to repeat that pattern all the way around. So I'll let you carry on. Back loop, 3 single crochets, then your increase. 7, going up another one now, so we've got the back loop only, 4 single crochets, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then I increase. So I will let you carry on with that pattern going around. Back loop only, 4 single crochets, and then your increase. Now row 8 is your last increase round, so we're going to do back loop and then 5 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then your increase. So if you want to carry on, I'm going to meet you at the end of this row. Okay, so for rows 9 through to 11, that's the next 3 rounds, we are going to start off with a back loop, and then we're going to just single crochet 7 single crochets. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So that is your first part. You're just going to repeat that all the way around. So we're doing a back loop and then your 7 single crochets, and as you can see, you've got all these front loops showing here. That's what we need all the way up. So if you want to carry on with your back loop and 7 single crochets, I will meet you at the beginning of row 12. Okay, we're going straight into row 12 now. So again, we're going to start with our back loop only, and we're going to do 1 set of them at the moment. So we're going to be doing 7 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now I need to put the opening for the nose between this section here, so I need to start with my back loop only, and I'm going to be doing 1 single crochet after that. There's our back loop and 1 single crochet. Now we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to miss 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do a single crochet in this end one here. So we've now made the opening for our nose. Going to carry on with your repetition of back loop followed by 7 single crochets all the way around. So if you'd like to carry on, I'm going to meet you back after your row. The next 2 rows we're going to carry on, but we need to go in that chain. We're going to carry on with the same sequence. So back loop, 7 single crochets. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and then back loop. We've got that first single crochet that we did before the chain, so we're going to go in that one. That's number 1. And then we've got 5 along here, so we're going to go in these back loops to pick up this chain. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a chain done, plus the one here is 6, and we just got our last single crochet here is number 7. Then we're going to start back on this next one, back loop, and then 7. So if you carry on, I'll meet you at the end of row 15. Okay, so at this point we want to make sure that our push bubble fits in there nicely. So we're going to sit him in there and make sure the nose comes through. That's fine. And then obviously we're going to be adding stuffing here, but we're not going to add too much stuffing, because when we pull in all these threads, it's going to make it tighter. So as long as you're happy that your nose fits through, depending on which yarn you've used, if not, and you think it needs to be a little bit wider, then you'll have to go back and maybe put an extra chain on instead of that first single crochet. Row 16, we're going to start working in reverse. So we're going to start decreasing. So we're going to do back loop only. Then we're going to go back to our 5 single crochets. Three, 4 and 5, and then we're going to do a decrease. So we're going to pick up the front loops of these next 2 stitches. Make sure you've got all of it. Put it through those 2, yarn over again and pull through. That's your decrease. Then we're going to go back in the back loop of the first one, and we're going to do it all again. So we're going to do our 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then our decrease. So we're doing the front loops of the next 2 stitches. Pick them up, pull the yarn through those 2, and then pull the yarn through the last 2. So if you carry on, I'll meet you back at the end of the row. Row 17, we're going to go down another one. So we're going to be doing our back loop, and then we're down to 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then our decrease. So the front loops of the next 2 stitches, pull your yarn through, and then pull your yarn through. So if you carry on, I'll meet you at the next one. Okay, so at this stage I'm going to add my squeezy, and then we're going to start working with it still in there. So I'm going to put a little bit of stuff in just underneath to raise it up slightly. And then we're going to pop him in. We'll push that more around the front, like so. And then as we get smaller, I'm going to add more stuffing. So this is what we've got so far. Row 18, then we're going to go 1 lower. So we're going to do the back loop, and then we're on 3 of our single crochets. So we've got 1, 2, and 3. Now you decrease. So if you want to carry on with that pattern, back loop, 3 single crochets and a decrease, and I'll meet you on the next row. 19, 2 single crochets in this one, so we're going to start off with our back loop, and then 2 of our single crochets, and then a decrease. Like so. If you want to carry on, I'll meet you at the next round. Row 20, we are going to carry on getting a little bit smaller. So we're doing our back loop, 1 single crochet, and then our decrease. So you follow it round, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. We'll just finish that round. I'm going to be poking in some more stuffing just around the side, but remember, don't overstuff it because you will be pulling it tighter. It's just to protect that bubble. Like so. I think I just need a tiny bit more in the front there. That's better. Row 21, back in a back loop again, and then straight into a decrease. So you're going to follow that all the way around. So we've got a back loop and a decrease. and I'll meet you at the end of the row. Row 22 is your last row, so we're just going to be doing 6 decreases around. So the next 2 stitches is our first one. Get my stitch marker out the way. That's it, twist it that way. And then our next 2. And keep going. This is our third one. And our fourth one. That stitch is our 5th one, and lastly our 6th. Let's get rid of that stitch marker like so. Okay, we need to keep enough yarn back now to be able to go all the way around 3 times. So I'm going to put my finger on there to hold it in place, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, give it a little bit extra, and I'm going to cut that bit off. I'm going to pull this one through and thread our needle. And this is how we're going to be bringing it all together. So before we start, we need to close this 6 piece up. So we're going to pick up the front loops of all 6. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So, and we're going to give that a big pull to tighten it up. Okay, just give that a tug. You don't need to pull too tight because this is going to be under your hat. So I'm going to go back through there, and I'm going to bring it up on one of these rows here. So let's start about there. And then for each row, we're going to pick up these front loops. So I'm working on this one. So I'm going to pop my needle through and pick up on all these front loops here. Like so. And this is our last one there. Then as you pull it tight, it pulls it in. So you want to try and keep a little bit of tension on there. Now I'm not going to put my loop straight over here because we're going to see it. I'm going to go underneath, but be careful you don't pop or go near your little squeezy. Otherwise you're going to unpick it all. So that's it. I'm coming back up the other side so we don't see it. Keep the tension on it. And you're just going to go back down the other side. Like so. And then when you get to the top, you're going to do exactly the same thing for another side. So if you want to try and keep that tension there, what I would tend to do, because this is under the hat anyway, I'm going to go back under and pull it up, just so you've got a stitch to hold that tension that you've already made. And then you can carry on down the other side. So again, I'm going to go to this one. so I'm going to pop my needle underneath and come up around the top there. So if you want to carry on going round and keep your tension. Okay, I've just gone up the last one, that's the bottom. This is the top, so I'm just going to feed it through, keep the tension on it, and just make a couple of stitches under there. And like I say, you're going to have it covered with a hat, so it doesn't have to be ultra neat. There we have it. I'm just going to hide that piece of yarn back through there and cut it off. So now, as you can see, you've got your squeezer in it, and it makes a nice nose. So we're going to go on and make the hat now. Okay, for the hat I'm going to be doing mine in this navy blue. So we're going to start with a magic circle with 6 single crochets in it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the last one's number 6. Pop my stitch marker back in. And then I'm going to pull it closed. Now for the next 2 rows, rows 2 and 3, we just need to do a single crochet into each stitch. Now as you're doing it, you kind of need to make sure that you're keeping it in the right way, because it will try and turn itself inside out. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we need to remove the stitch marker for number 6, which is here. And then we're going straight into row 3 for our last round of 6 single crochets. So try and keep it as tight as you can and keep it in the right way. 1, 2, 3, dropped 1, there we go, 3, 4, 5, and remove my stitch marker for my last one. Number 6. So we'll pop that one back in, and I'm going to give the tail end a tug just to close that hole up, like so. And we just pull it back through the right way, like so. Before we're doing 1 single crochet and then an increase. Got 1 single crochet and an increase in the next one. Again, repeat that going round. So we've got 1 single crochet and an increase, 1 single crochet, take the stitch marker out for our increase. Row 5, we're just going to do a single crochet round, so we've got 9 single crochets in this round now. So if you want to carry on, every stitch is going to be a single crochet, and I'll meet you at the end of your row. Row 6, we're on 2 single crochets and then an increase. 1, 2, and an increase in the next one. And you're going to do that all the way around. So I'm going to meet you at the end of the row. Row 7, we're on a single crochet round. So we're going to go all the way around with 1 single crochet into every stitch. And at the moment you have got 12 single crochets in your round. Row 8, we're on 3 single crochets and then our increase. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and then an increase. So if you carry on, I'll meet you at the beginning of your next round. Row 9, we're single crochet round again, so we're on 15 single crochets in the whole of this round. So I will let you carry on and meet you at the end. Row 10, 4 single crochets before your increase, and then repeat it going round. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then our increase. So I'll let you carry on and I'll meet you at the end. To row 11, we are going to do a single crochet round, and there should be 18 in this round now. So I'll let you carry on. Row 12, we're doing 5 single crochets and then our increase. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then our increase. So I'll let you carry on. 13, we're back to our single crochet round, and we are doing 21 single crochets in this round. So I'll let you carry on and I'll meet you at the end of it. Row 14, we are up to 6 single crochets before our increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then I'll increase in the next stitch. So I'll let you carry on and I'll meet you at the end of the row. Row 15, we're on a single crochet round, and we're going to be doing 24 single crochets all around. So I will meet you at the end of this row. Row 16, we're on 7 single crochets before our increase. You don't need to see me do this because you've been doing it all the way up to now, haven't you? So I'll let you carry on. Row 17, we're back on our single crochet round, so we have got 27 single crochets to do in this round. So I'll meet you at the end of this one. Row 18, we're on 8 single crochets before your increase. So I will let you carry on and meet you at the end of this row. Row 19 is back to our single crochet round, and we have got 30 single crochets in this round. So if you want to hit pause, I'll meet you at the end of the row. Row 20, we're back to our increase round, so we're going to be doing 9 single crochets before our increase. So if you want to hit that pause, I'll meet you at the end of this row. Row 21, we are on 33 single crochets all the way around. So I will meet you at the end of this row. Row 22, we are on 10 single crochets before your increase. So I will let you carry on. We're doing that 3 times, and I'll meet you at the beginning of your next row. 23 is our single crochet round, and we are going to be doing 36 single crochets around. So if you carry on, I'll meet you at the end of the row. 24, we are up to 11 single crochets before your increase. So if you want to go ahead and do that, repeat it obviously the 3 times, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. Row 25, we're on our single crochet round again, and we have got 39 single crochets in this round, so I'll meet you at the beginning of your next one. Row 26, we are now on 12 single crochets before our increase. So if you'd like to continue, I'll meet you at the end of this round. We're almost there. Row 27, back to our single crochet round, and we are now up to 42 single crochets in this round. So I'll let you carry on and I'll meet you at the end. Row 28, we're on 13 single crochets and then your increase. Not that many rows left, so don't worry. So if you want to carry on with your 13 and an increase, I'll meet you at the end. Row 29 is our single crochet, and we're back to 45 single crochets all the way around. So if you want to hit that pause button, I'll meet you at the end. Row 30, we're on 14 single crochets and then our increase. So if you want to carry on, I will meet you at the beginning of your next row. For row 31, we're going to be doing the back loops only all the way round. So you want to go in this back loop here, and you want to do 48 in the whole round. So that's going to help the brim come out. So if you want to carry on just in your back loops all the way round, I'll meet you at the end of your row. Now for row 32, we are going to do 3 single crochets in both loops and then an increase. So 1, 2, 3, and an increase. So you need to work your way around the whole of the edge, and there should be 12 repetitions in all. So 1, 2, 3, and then your increase. So if you carry on, I'll meet you at the end of the row. Row 33, we're going up to 4 single crochets before our increase. And we're just making the brim a little bit wider. 2, 3, 4, and then our increase. So if you want to repeat that all the way around, I'll meet you at the end of this row. Now I've got it as large as I want it. Obviously pumpkins are going to vary in size. It all depends on how tight you pull these as to whether they're going to be bigger. So I'm happy that that is, I want it to flop so you can't see eyes. So I'm just going to finish off the edge neatly by doing a slip stitch all the way round for row 34. So for every stitch, we're going to pull the loop through and straight through the one on your hook. It's just going to neaten it up after all those increases that we've done. So if you want to go around and do your slip stitches, there should be 72 in that round, and I'll meet you at the end. Now I've just removed the stitch marker and done that last stitch, but as you can see, it always ends up with a bulge at the end. So what I tend to do is just carry on and just do a couple more slip stitches past you around, just till it sorts itself out. Get that one in there, like so. And then what I'm going to do is I need to leave a yarn that's going to be long enough so I can sew it to the head. So as you can see, we've got a nice brim on there. Now you need to position your hat on the head, and I'm going to add a little bit of stuffing up in there just to keep it up. And obviously we're going to put our join at the back, and you need it so it covers where the eyes should be. And then when you're happy with that, you can thread your needle and start sewing it in place. So I'm going to go back down through one of these stitches, pull it back, and I don't want it on the end, so I'm going to feed it back up so we can still move the brim about as we need to. We're going to hide those stitches there. Oh, that's just got caught. There we go. Tiny bit more. And recheck your positioning. And what I do is I go up underneath the hat, just pick up a couple of stitches, but please do not pop your bit in the middle. And then I come up near where we've got these back loops and just come down and pick up a couple more stitches. And just work your way around. Keep checking every now and again that you're happy with the positioning. Okay, and I'll come back to you once we've gone all the way around. Okay, so the hat's all finished and it's all nicely tied on. I'm going to be doing a strap around the hat. So we're going to need to start by chaining enough to go all the way around the hat. So I'm going to do 48. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You don't want to watch me do this. Okay, so I've just done 48. Everyone's hat is going to be slightly different depending on how tight you've sewn it on. And I've got probably 3 too many, so I'm going to take it back down to 45. So 47, 46, 45. And then we're going to join the other end around, and we're just going to single crochet along. So we're going to start with a slip stitch, and then in every stitch we're going to be doing a single crochet. So I will let you carry on and I'll meet you when you've joined it up again. Just finished all the way around. I'm going to leave a bit of yarn so that I can sew it in place onto the hat. And then you just push it down. And I'm going to finish off by putting like a buckle on it. So I'm going for the yellow that I've had already. I'm going to feed it up under the hat and come up just above it. And then I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3 stitches like so. Pop it back in, and then I'm going to go below the hat. You don't have to put a buckle on it, you can jazz it up any way you like. You can put flowers on it. Oh, I've just pulled it off my needle. Let's just thread that again. So I'm doing 2 on each, and then I'm going to come down the bottom here, put 2 stitches in there, and along the bottom. And this is where I'm just going to hide it in the pumpkin. It's going to keep it secured to the hat as well. Just pop a couple of stitches up under there where you can't see it. And then cut the excess off. Now with this back bit, I'm just going to feed these in through. I don't think we need to sew it all the way around, but it depends how you're going to be manhandling it. Just tighten that edge up and then pop it through the hat. Another one down through the hat. You only need a couple of stitches going round. And I'm going to hide that through the pumpkin. And do the same with the other one going the other way. Going to have to pull it up with my hook because that's a shorter one. There we go, and I can cut those ends off. So here is your squeezable pumpkin. I hope you've enjoyed it. Maybe give me a like, subscribe, and I'll find another video to do.